another collective reading today. For those of you who are new here, hit that follow, subscribe, whatever it is, do all the things, like, share, all of it, please. Thank you. This is only if all of this resonates for you. Take what resonates, leave the rest, okay? This is not something that's supposed to fit every single person. This is a collective reading. It will be bringing up collective happenings right now as well. So just keep that in mind so we can factor that in. Otherwise, happy summer solstice. And also to those who are good fathers today, happy Father's Day. Welcome, welcome. We're going to give just a few minutes for people to start filing in. So if you are watching on the replay, feel free to fast forward until I actually start bringing up the cards and reading them for you. Hi, Susan. I just saw that you liked the video. Hello, darling. How are you? Holly's not going to be here today. She's spending time with her dad on the golf course. So happy Father's Day to you, Susan. You're a wonderful dual parent. And we love you so much. Hello, Anna. How are you, gorgeous? Just giving a couple of minutes for people to start coming in. Happy solstice. Does anyone have any kind of plans for the solstice? I really don't. I've been doing some of my own workings and things, but other than that, we're just going to try to enjoy the rest of the day after the live is done. I thought about taking the kids down to the river and spending some time with water and cleansing our energy and getting some of that energy out. And the kids love the river, so it's always a treat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Awesome to hear. I don't know if we're going to have very many people joining us for the live today because it's Father's Day, at least in the US. I didn't check to see if it's like that all over the world. Anna, can you tell me? Is it Father's Day today in Iceland too? I don't know. I'm American educated, so I don't know. I know that not everyone has Thanksgiving. That's an American, and Canadians have theirs on a different date. So I don't know. We have an M flare going on right now currently. Lots of solar stuff, lots of tectonic stuff. Dormant volcanoes are awakening. It's fun stuff. What a great time to be alive, right? Hello, Jaspreet. Nice to meet you. Welcome. Mom's Day is different too. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. I am a tarot reader. We're doing collective readings. We're not doing individual readings today, but if you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so on my website. Right here. Sorry. Everything's mirrored, so it always messes with me. I have like really affordable options as well, or you can book one-on-one with me, but my more affordable options are pre-recorded as well. So there's a variety there for you. And if you would like to follow and just kind of tag along and keep up with me, I do lives where I do individual readings. We do free readings for like 1 to 3 cards, and then we also do paid readings where you can get like 6 to 10 cards. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in catching, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, dear. Thank you. Don't have that today. Our Father's Day is on the 2nd Sunday in November. Okay. Good to know. Because I have no idea. I don't pay attention to holidays anyway. We're not gonna have that go on here. So if you're gonna come on here and make comments like that, even though it's not, technically that inappropriate, you can excuse yourself. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Also, if you are just tuning in and you are not aware of me until today, we do, thanks. We do have this live streaming to 2 different platforms. We have it streaming to Facebook and to YouTube. So if you see me addressing someone who's made a comment, They're just not viewing from the platform that you are if you can't see that comment. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, guys, and see what today's reading has in store. Again, this is a collective reading, so this could apply to you in your individual experience, but it also covers the collective energy that we are dealing with at this time. All right, so, okay, we're gonna, gotta get my cards situated right, you know, it's the tism. Okay, so bottom of the deck, we have 7 of Cups. This is indicating a period of time where there's a lot of confusion, right? There's a lot of confusion. There is, all right, we're gonna go ahead and just make sure I block the right person. All right. 7 of Cups, this is a period of confusion. It can also indicate multiple options, multiple choices, right? Hello, Suzanne. So depending on where you're at right now in your energy, in your own timeline, you could be facing a lot of options, or it could be a confusing period for you at this time. Collectively, yes, there is a lot of confusion. There is a lot of chaos happening right now. There's a lot of negativity, ugliness happening right now. Just like the people on YouTube, the troll bots, all up in my comments today. The collective, I'm super tired. Yeah, yes, I feel that one. I have also been really exhausted lately, but we've had so much going on with our son. We've got, you know, our Gaia's magnetic frequency is a little off, you know, way off considered to consider normal. So you're not going to be unaffected by this. You see all of these things happening with people just randomly just snapping, right? There are so many like unalivings, femicides by their own spouse happening a lot right now. We're seeing a lot of that abusive behavior really come to a head. Hello, Kara. So, you know, the ugliness, the dark, the shadows, whatever has to come to light. So by just osmosis, you're going to see a lot more spikes in like crime rates and people losing their mind. I've told you guys for a couple years now that that people's mental instability is going to really start showing through, bleeding through a lot more. It's becoming very apparent for everyone right now. Okay, so you're going to see a lot of people having mental health breakdowns and things of that nature. You're seeing a lot of people like being arrested for committing horrific crimes. Just like, where was it? The name is escaping me right now. It just happened yesterday in the UK. It was a man wielding a machete, okay, and going after Muslim people just for existing, right? We're seeing this psychotic breakdown happening in the toxic masculine, okay, and that has to happen. That's meant to happen, but along with it, you're going to see the evidence of that mentality of the toxic patriarchy bleeding through, and this is where you see women, especially in the U.S., but all over this earth plane at this time, that are being, you know, imprisoned for having miscarriages. Laws are they're trying to shift and change laws to do all of these things to strip women's rights from them. Okay, and this is a perfect day to talk about it being Father's Day. Am I right? So you see all of this ugliness, all of this sickness really becoming a lot more rampant in society at this time. And this is not just with regard to the US, this is everywhere. Let me let Duncan in, or else he's going to continue to like shoulder check my door and cry. Oh shit, almost knocked my tea over. Bear in mind, we're also pre-shadow Mercury. Okay, Mercury in the microwave, reverse cowgirl. Are you coming, Loki? Oh, bud. Coming in? Sorry, guys, have to give Loki a moment to make up his mind that he does, in fact, want to come in as he was waiting at the door. Um, so, again, we're seeing a lot of sickness, a lot of ugliness. Thanks, Kara. Thank you. There's been a few of them. I only blocked one of them so far for being inappropriate, but if you're over there, you see the comments that are already up. So thank you, dear. My beautiful moderator, Dosha Rocks. If you are in need of some shiny things, healing tools, then dosharocks.com. She's your gal. Okay, so a lot of confusion, a lot of options, a lot of different, it's like multiple timelines are all bleeding through at the same time, right? I've noticed like one day there will be this news story or like this current event that kind of cropped up, right? And then the next day or a couple days later, I wake up and it's completely been dissolved, right? Like sometimes there are, how can I put this? So I've seen some things kind of like not be on the same timeline anymore. I've been shifting timelines myself too, but the collective timelines, there are multiple existing at the same time. And we've talked about this and about collapsing timelines and things. So now, especially with the geomagnetic activity, with Gaia's just magnetic resonance at this time, since her poles are starting to shift or have been shifting actually for a while now, and with all of the solar activity, the tectonic activity, all of these things, yeah, some of them are definitely made up for sure. I mean, the stories that you see. Sorry, I saw that comment, Suzanne, and I should have, yeah, okay. Anyway, you'll see multiple things existing simultaneously, and then like a few days later, they're no longer in existence, right? Hi, Laren. I've also seen the masculine acknowledging the toxic masculine and realizing what women have had to go through. It's a nice step in the right direction. Yes. And with that, I do briefly want to bring into center stage what's going on with the women in Afghanistan right now. They are not even allowed to speak in public, or they get beaten, sometimes unalived. They're beaten so badly. They cannot speak. They do not have rights over their own children. They're meant to, at this time, they're supposed to basically stay in their homes and raise their children. And if the father of their children, their husband, or whoever they were forced to marry, decides that he doesn't want that woman anymore, he has full rights to the child, and she's left to basically fend for herself, or, you know. So what's going on right now in Afghanistan is atrocious, and there needs to be more light brought to that situation. And the U.S. did not help in that very long and pointless war. The U.S. made it so much worse, and I just want everybody to hold the Afghan women in their highest of intentions, place protections, lift them up, send them love and protection and all of the things. Okay. Hi, Katie. Because what's happening with them right now is not okay. They have to wear full coverings, head to toe, can't even show their faces. Okay. Like it's really fucking bad. So on this day, celebrating men, not taking away from the good men, the good fathers. Okay. But the toxic masculine needs to come down now, like thousands of years ago. But yes, toxic masculinity in the workplace for you, it's so, ugh, people make me sick, honestly. Like the toxicity is just disgusting. Things I felt really heavy for me lately. It's hard to manage people showing their ass, but it's showing me where I still need to work on myself, right? Same. I feel enraged, and I like visualize just by default whenever I see something like that, whenever I see toxic masculinity at play, I just like see myself with a sword of truth, so to speak. Okay. And like just jutting it up on them. Like, you guys know I I've calmed down a lot, but I used to be full of rage, and I am a protector energy. So whenever I see all of these things, it just, the warrior in me really wants to come out. So I would never act on those kinds of things. Okay. But I get it, just being so enraged with everything, with these toxic men showing their asses, right? Sending them love and healing energy. I may disappear off Facebook and YouTube due to what's happening in the UK. Oh, honey, okay. DM me a way that we can keep in touch or something. Is this like temporary, or is this going to be like you're shutting down your pages? Let me know. Not be able to shut my mouth. Same, Suzanne. Same. The rage has been strong with me. I'm just trying to work through it. My Mars is Aries, so it's ready to battle. Yeah. Scorpio, you know me. Scorpio Mars. We can get dark, baby. You want to get dark? We can get dark. We all have to navigate as best we can, maintain our grounding, feel the emotions, right? Entertain them momentarily, long enough for us to help to offload that from the collective, because we are all going to be triggered by what we're seeing. It's unavoidable, okay? Unless we shut ourselves out from everything, we're going to be seeing this ugliness, and it's going to provoke a lot of emotions, okay, to surface. So just breathe through it. Do it in a healthy way. As I always tell you guys, express these emotions in a healthy way, but it's unavoidable. We are, in essence, we're kind of purifying these deeply seated, deeply buried emotions from the collective itself. So, us being the sensitives, we're going to be feeling it really strongly, probably the first ones to really experience that. And it comes in waves, right? So, we got to keep our shit together, guys. That's what we're here for. So no matter how much we visualize, we cannot act on those visualizations. We need to maintain that balance as best as we can, though I am not ever advocating for anyone to become a doormat, not for friends, not for family, not for partners, and certainly not for governments. Okay. So there will need to be some kind of active rising up, so to speak. CEO of the network just going around seeing how everyone's doing on their platforms. This does not seem to be working. Oh, neither do you. Bye. So just be patient with yourself. Okay, have grace for yourself. Duncan is wanting out now, so let me do that because he won't have grace for me. Hold on, buddy. You too? All right, flee before me. Thank you. Okay. These cats, they're so demanding. Maybe Jack Dawson needs to be chucked off the board. Maybe create a group on Telegram or any app that resonates for our soul fam. Keep it, yeah. Disconnect on social media as well with what's happening in the UK. Okay. Yeah, so let's go ahead and make a post. Yes, the cats have me trained, Suzanne. Absolutely. Let's make a post to the group, and we can discuss that, having like a Telegram or threads or something set up to where we can all keep in contact with everything going on, because you never know about these platforms either, and they are gathering a lot of data. They are playing around with shit that they shouldn't be playing around with. So totally get it. Just let's create a post. If someone wants to do a group post, so because I forget. It's just a thing. So if somebody wants to create that group post so that we can all contribute to it, we can all agree on something that where we can stay connected outside of these social media platforms, that would be perfect. Um, that is a really good idea. So, collective happenings going on, confusion, ugliness. We have pneumonomo showing up out here with change. Things are changing. We're shedding the old world and we're stepping into the new, which still needs to be constructed, right? We're not reconstructing, we are tearing down the old and we are building the new. So, along with that comes a lot of work, a lot of headache, a lot of confusion, multiple options, many different pathways that we can choose. So, it is going to be quite rough for a while. Okay. We're looking at several years of this building of the new world. So, you're going to see, the old screaming and dying off simultaneously. um, so it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be overstimulating for a lot of us, especially the neurospicy, right? So um, ground yourself as much as possible. Find joy where you can. We have urun with joy and light. So light, perfect. Sun, out shining bright and beautiful, just like today's summer solstice. Okay. This is a pivotal point in the year. Today is the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay. Um, and it marks, this, we're already ushering in summer, the end of summer, and then moving on through the year. So make sure that you are reviewing what's been taking place in your life at least over the past 6 months. But it's good there, depending on your charts, there's going to be multiple things that you're going to want to look into if you're into that kind of thing. If not, just kind of pay attention to the themes in your life right now. Pay attention to, like, when you started this particular phase in your life and how it's kind of gone and how it's moving now. There are going to be more things being revealed. There's a lot being revealed right now, so buckle up because revelations are coming. Okay. And it has a lot to do with the Epstein class, the controllers, the puppet masters, and so forth. Okay. So just be aware there's going to be a lot coming out, but not to allow that to take over everything, not to allow that to really impact how you operate in your day to day, and find as much joy as possible, experience as much joy as possible, because we're living in some dark times, but they're also very light, right? We're enlightening right now as a collective. We are becoming more enlightened. We are ascending to a higher frequency. So, along with the um, sorry, I had a pop up notification, along with the shadows that we're seeing right now surfacing, that's because more light is entering our atmosphere with the sun, with all of the solar activity, the geomagnetic storms, the flares, everything. Okay. So it's going to shine light on the shadows. We're going to see them. We're going to deal with them. We're going to move on. Um, so just keep that in mind too. Try to ground yourself as much as possible. Find joy where you can. Create joy where you can. Okay, because we are creators. We are creator gods and goddesses, right? So we create the joy that we also experience. You can experience joy by default by seeing something beautiful, by someone else's actions, but also we can create that joy for ourselves and for others. So doing as much of that as we possibly can right now is going to be of paramount importance. We have enchantment with celebration. So celebrate. Like I said, the light has already won. Things are going to start really getting better across the board. Things are going to really start improving. But again, we're pace yourself, because there's also going to be some unfavorable experiences that we have to encounter. Okay. Three of Wands. This is, things are really starting to shift and change. Our ships are starting to come in. We're embarking on this new journey as a collective, but also in our individual experiences. Right. We're finding what lights us up, what brings out our passion. Pouring more of ourselves into our passion projects, or into the things that we enjoy, because why the hell not? Everything's gone to shit, right? So we, in order to maintain that balance, we have to pursue our passions. We have to do what lights us up, even if it's just as a hobby. Um, and to be able to impact others in a positive way as a result, even better. We have the world right behind that, also in the reverse. So I'm like getting the sense of things coming to a grinding halt. With this, it's not that we're not moving past it, it's that things have to really grind to a halt, so that, because there are a lot of people that still have their heads, buried in the sand intentionally. They got them horse blinders on, they're not seeing anything else, because, oh, it's not immediately affecting me. um yes, it does. Maybe not immediately, maybe not directly, but if it doesn't impact you now, you're going to feel it later on. Even if it didn't impact you personally, but every single thing that's happening right now, there's going to be something that affects someone personally, and it's detrimental to their overall well-being. So, like I've been saying, these things, really have to come to a head, to the point where no one can look away from the truth anymore. No one can choose just to be naive and think that everything's working out because, oh, you know I'm unaffected because I'm a white person. No, you're going to be infected in multiple ways. Look, you're paying more for gas right now. Look, you're paying more for food right now. Inflation is at a very high point right now, the highest it's been for a very long time. And this is not just for the country that I live in; it's across the board. Okay, everyone is going to be impacted. There's not one person that will not be affected by this. And that includes the ruling class, that includes the controllers, the puppeteers, right? They're being impacted to the point where they're trying to enforce these changes that they've had planned all along, right? These things have been planned for decades, if not centuries. Okay, so um, they they're having to go like more balls to the wall, more all in, to try to force this down everyone's throats, to try to get that grip on humanity that they've wanted and lusted over for so long. Because contrary to what anyone else might tell you, they haven't had full control. They never can have full control. Okay, because humans aren't RC cars. Okay, we're not a remote control species. Some of us can be. Okay, and there's even a U.S. patent on the God voice. Okay, to where they can broadcast this frequency and make people think they're hearing God and do whatever that voice tells them to do. Okay, there's literally a patent on that technology. So those who are easily manipulated, those who have wanted to maintain the blindness through all of this, a lot of those people are also probably going to, if it came to that, if they actually try to use that, then they would be very susceptible to that. Okay, is stashing cans of food, and they have either gone up in price or the cans have shrunk. Exactly, shrinkflation is a thing. It is. I've noticed it. I've been noticing it for months and months now. It's crazy, and I say something every time in the grocery store, like, "Oh my gosh," of course. But it's not a joke. It's not funny. It really, it's terrible. You're paying so much more for so much less, if it's even available at all. In my local grocery store here, just in the town that I live, which is, admittedly, we don't get as much like produce and things as like a city grocery store would, but they still do a really good job. I enjoy, the grocery store here, but it's like the things, like the produce that actually finally makes it to the store, it's looking wilted, it's looking shriveled up, it's getting wrinkly, it's starting to mold. Not all of it, but a lot of it is. So everyone is being impacted. Maybe they just are in denial about it, or maybe they just don't want to see it, but no one is going to be unaffected. Iceland is currently waking up to Hamas group infiltrating here. An Icelandic woman married one and now divorced. She was disclosing her ex and their tactics on a podcast this week. Wow. Yeah. You're going to see like sleeper cells start to become exposed. Those who are not of a certain country but are living and working and having a life in that country, and it's not just any one single country. And then you're going to start seeing a lot more of these exposed. There was one in Vegas, like a week ago, I think, that was exposed. um, Israeli, was it a week ago? It might have been longer than that. I don't know. Sorry, you guys know when I'm on camera, whenever I'm getting into the channel, the 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 left brain isn't so like on. But yeah, you're gonna be seeing a lot of these things becoming exposed. Um, you're going to see, just like with Isn't Real right now, the land that isn't real, and screwing up the whole Iranian deal with the United States and all of these things. Like it's falling apart, because the state that isn't real is not abiding by the conditions, not abiding by a ceasefire, not giving a fuck. They're just G-siding anyone and everyone that they want. Okay, not only the people of Palestine, but now the people of Lebanon. Okay, so you're going to see there's fractures and fissures in the relationship between the governments of the state that isn't real and the U.S. There are things going on behind the scenes. There are things going on center stage. Okay, but all of these things are bringing up all of the atrocities that are happening that would have been hidden had we not had the internet and had people live streaming straight from their phone saying this is exactly what's happening. Your propaganda news stations are completely spinning it into something that it's not. So we're seeing all of these things come to light. So isn't real, okay, is not well liked all over the world now. Like everyone was behind them for a period of time, for a long period of time, way too long, but now they can't hide the atrocities, and they're actually not even trying to at this point. So we're seeing people actually stand up. Um, just like Albania, they're wonderful. They're doing an amazing job, and they're standing on business, and they're like, you fucking colonists are not coming here to make shit worse for us and to steal our land and to decimate our ecosystems. Okay, so we these ugly have to happen. These attempts at taking sovereign people's rights away from them have to happen for the people to actually stand up, because most people, if it's not directly affecting them, if it's not in their day-to-day life, they don't care. They don't look at it. Okay, they don't care at all. So these things are going to continue to happen, sadly. Yes, I hate it. I know how you guys feel about it too, but at the same time, we can take joy in the fact that they are coming to light so that we can actually do something about it, because just a couple of people, like a handful of us, sounding the alarms about what's happening in whatever area isn't going to do much, because those who aren't really impacted by it are going to be like, oh, that sucks, but I'm not going to get up off the couch and go, march for someone's rights. I'm not going to go, demonstrate for these concentration camps to be destroyed, and these people being able to go back to their families, back to their lives. So these things do have to happen to get enough people pissed off so that enough people will actually stand on business and do the actions. We have to have physical, tangible actions to shift, to change things in this realm. We know this with manifestation techniques. Like if you just, sit in a room all day and you visualize and you like feel all the things, and you're doing your manifestations, if you never step outside of that room to take any kind of action towards these things that you want to manifest, you're not open to those things changing and coming in for you. So in this realm, we have to take some kind of physical action, whether that's making a phone call, sending an email, applying for that job, friending that person, whatever it is, it's going to take some kind of action from you. So this it has to happen, and I know we hate it because we've seen it for years and years. This is not new stuff to us, and all of the conspiracy theories that we've spouted for the longest time, turns out they're not so conspiracy theory. Like they're actual truth. The lies are dissolving and the truth is surfacing, and we're like, told you so. But that doesn't do anyone any good, right? So we have to allow others to really open their own eyes and get pissed off and channel that rage into standing up and making a change. Even if you don't ever leave your house to go to any kind of protest or demonstration or voting or any of these kinds of things, you can do something. You can, in the comments, if you don't want to, like, from your own platform, we all have one, right? We all have a platform. Some are huge, some are small, whatever. If you don't want to do that, like making posts from your own page or anything like that, you can share other people's posts. You can be in the comments on things. You can do your part to help others to awaken to the information that's right in front of their eyes, right? So we all serve our own purpose, and it's not for everyone to be boots on the ground actually demonstrating. And I get that, and I'm not shaming anyone, not judging anyone, because we all do serve our parts. And there are some who are meant to keep their hands, pretty clean of all of that and hold that frequency, right? So we don't need to judge another person by the way that they function in their role in this earth school at this time. Okay. My meditation group just think I should be positive and not speak about the shit that's going on. So I told them I'm a conspiracy theorist and only take what resonates. I love that. I love you for doing that, Katie. And it's not surprising at all. Sorry, I have this like little hair that keeps on going over my face and tickling my nose right here. So yeah, I'm fidgety. But that's wonderful, and you are, serving a beautiful role because you're the realist. Like, yes, you're whimsical and you're magical and you are so powerful in what you do, but at the same time, you straddle both worlds. You straddle the ethereal and you straddle the real world. Okay, it's like you can't just keep your head in the clouds and ignore everything that's going on, because then it will get worse. Like, if you allow things to happen by just, let's stay positive, love and light, they're going to crush you. They're going to just bulldoze right through and build up all those data centers, or take everyone's rights, or whatever it is that they want to do. Okay, so you being that advocate, that voice in that group is amazing, and I wouldn't expect any less from you. So maybe kind of steer the conversations towards making those points. And it's we don't live in an ethereal realm. Okay, yes, that's a component to it, but it's not like I can just think something and manifest it right on the table in front of me. That's not the world that we live in right now. We live in a completely different realm. So you know it's going to take action. It's going to be standing on business. It's going to be saying, no, we are sovereign and we do not allow this, or else if they just, love and light, it'll go away. No, you'll get trampled by the opposition. Okay. And even if you're not opposing, there's still the opposition. They're going to do it anyway. Because they're opposing you. They're opposing your sovereignty, your love and light, your happiness, your joy, your ability to live on a planet that you were born on. Okay, so I love that, Katie. Conspiracy theorists are truth tellers, exactly. Those that come from integrity, that is. Yes, I love that you added that. Yes, because integrity is everything. Yeah, what we say is usually proved right a few months or years later. Exactly. And it's all coming out. So people are not going to be able to just love and light it away, especially whenever they're directly impacted, right? So, yeah, I feel for them. I just hold the intention for those that you're connected to, that they will open their eyes and have the eyes to see what's going on. Because that's really all it takes. Because once someone sees that, oh shit, danger, danger, I'm being oppressed here, and it's only getting worse and worse and worse, it's never going to improve, then that's when they're going to say, okay, I've had enough. But some people, it's going to take a long time, because especially with women, and the older generations of women too, like my generation on, right? We were brought up to respect authority and to never question it, and to not be that one that causes ripples, right? We don't want to upset the status quo. Especially women were taught to adhere to that. So sadly, for a lot, it is going to take more pressure before they're finally like, okay, fuck it, this sucks. I'm gonna punch someone in the eye. You know. I will keep saying my truth until they get it. I love that. You're a baddie. I love you so much. um so yes, things have to come to a grinding halt. Things cannot advance. Things cannot move in the direction that the collective wants it to, until everyone is seeing what the hell is going on, and everyone decides. Because the collective, right, for the collective trajectory to shift, we have to have so many out of the collective, a certain percentage. It's the percentages are it's not agreed on, so we won't even get into percentages, but we have to have a certain amount to really tip the scales in our favor towards that direction. So um, people are gonna people are gonna have to continue being exposed to this to see it. They're gonna have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired and oppressed before they can really move forward. They're gonna have to get dealt these shitty hands, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. You know, this is bad news bears. This is not receiving what it is that you need, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. Okay. This is being suppressed, being oppressed, receiving bad news. And look around. We're receiving bad news after bad news after bad news, but you can see that those things are not set in stone. Those things that are happening that are bad news start to crumble. They start to wither away. They start to dissolve, because the collective consciousness is awakening and shifting so fast that those things can no longer have a stronghold. So they're no longer part of the story. Just like I talked about in the very beginning, where like you'll see multiple things happening, like in a cluster, multiple timelines just kind of clumped together on the same timeline one day, and then like the next day or a couple days later, even maybe weeks, months, years later for some of these, you'll see that disappear, and then that was like never a thing. That's where we get the Mandela effect. That's one component of the Mandela effect also. So people are going to really start to realize that reality is not what they've been trained that it is. It's not hard, set in stone. This is how it is. This is how it's always been. That's absolutely not. And people are going to begin seeing that, even the ones who are, non-believers of anything metaphysical or paranormal. The veil is gone. We're seeing and becoming aware of a lot more things. Things that were not visible are now visible. This is talking about beings and entities, etc. People are having more paranormal experiences. There are worldwide UAP spottings, sightings, and like videos everywhere of these things. And a lot of people will say, oh, it's just AI. And that's the people that want to remain, oblivious for as long as they possibly can. But it's going to get to a point where they can no longer deny the fact that it is happening. This is where things really start to come together. Okay, Two of Cups. This is a soulmate card, and keep that in mind, because we do have a soulmate card that came out. We're going to get to that shortly. But this is things coming together. This is just like last week I talked about with the World Cup being hosted in the US, also Canada, also Mexico. Canada, I know Steph isn't in here right now, but like get your people, okay? Because Canada is not treating these people nicely, not treating them fairly, not being welcoming. It's just like, I haven't seen a one single person be like, oh, I'm going to try poutine for the first time, you know? But with the US and with Mexico, you see, you know, people coming together, celebrating, loving one another, you know, partying together, drinking, like if that's their thing, whatever. But you like Scotland, the Scottish guys being in is it Chicago? Was it Chicago? Sorry, brain again. Drinking up all their beer, but having a wonderful time. The people from the US are like, please don't go home. We don't want our Scottish people to go home. Like, it's just so amazing to see these bonds that are being forged because we the people love each other. We the people don't see these barriers that the controller class has put in place and trying to maintain, right? This is what world peace looks like without these warmongers being appointed heads of each territory or each country. So, you know, like I said, at the same time as all of this shadowy, ugly shit is happening, we all also have this beautiful stuff happening, and it just like it really kind of strengthened my faith in humanity once more. And this is exactly what we all needed, because it's showing that, yes, this is possible. Yes, we can share cultures. We can, you know, come together and show hospitality and love to one another and really have a really good time. The Scottish can sure drink. The supermarkets here tripped their orders for beer. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Um, I mean, you do you, boo boos, but this girl cannot tolerate alcohol. It poisons my body. Just now, my guides are so happy with your message, getting nonstop intense head tingling. Oh, thank you, Susan. I'm glad you shared that with us. That's beautiful. So, is there ugly shit everywhere? It's rampant. Yes, the fuck there is. But is there beautiful shit happening at the same time, showing us, you know, inspiring us that yes, we can have world peace. Yes, we can function as a global society in a peaceful way instead of being at war and oppressing people, you know, us versus them type of shit. It's no longer got a stronghold in this realm. And this, I do not, I think FIFA is a horrible organization. I don't agree with what they do. I don't even care about sports at all. Like, couldn't give a shit less about sports. But it's not even about that. It's about the people. It's about the cultures coming together and, you know, sharing individual cultures with one another and just having a really good time. Um, that was tripled, not okay. Predictive text. I hate that. It's lovely to see the coming together of humans after the ruling class has spent trillions on propaganda to divide us. It gives me hope for humanity. Same, Maria. Thank you for your comment. That was beautiful. Absolutely same. And I love that with all of the shit that's going on with the U.S. and ICE and doing the atrocious things that they're doing to our neighbors, our brothers and sisters here. Um, it's sickening and disgusting. So I love that Mexico is on display, showing the love, showing the acceptance, showing, you know, their true hearts. Sorry, that's something that affects me so much. Because I was raised in like South Central California, hour and a half, 2 hours from LA. And yeah, I was always welcomed with open arms. I've had so many Mexican American friends from, you know, early childhood on through adulthood, and just seeing, I didn't think I was going to do this. Just seeing the treatment of them and what they're doing is just awful. Um, Ugh, sorry guys. Anyway, so it like it evokes a lot of emotion. Um, what we're doing to our own people in our own country, because most of this country was Mexico until, the massacres and the wars and all of the bullshit. Like Colorado, where I live, was Mexico for a long, long, long time. So telling people that they don't belong here when ancestrally they've been here for thousands and thousands of years as indigenous peoples of this part of Turtle Island, it's sickening. I have to process some of this, you guys. So it's sickening to me. It's sickening. I hate racism. I hate it. Especially whenever it's people that are not ancestrally from these lands that are attacking people who are ancestrally from these lands. It's just sickening. So I'm glad that the heart, la corazón of Mexico is being center stage. It's being demonstrated because the Mexican people are so amazing. Like I said, I've always been welcomed with no bias, with no judgment. Yeah, water is cleansing and healing us. Yeah. So it just gets me on a deep level. Not that the other atrocities happening around the world don't also impact me. They really do. But can't help it. Because like my tia, I have an aunt by marriage, Mexican, and I love her to death. She's amazing. Her family is amazing. And it's like, that's my family. And it's sickening to see what's taking place here on their own land. So, okay, let that one go. Let's process through that so we can get through the rest of this reading. I showed you guys we have Numo with change. We're shedding the skins. We are in this card there are two heads of this serpent, right? Of this snake. So change. This is coming together. It's just like that Two of Cups that I just showed you too. It's things coming together for change. In the UK, we have a lot of racism coming up here against Muslims. Hate-filled people will point fingers at anyone else. It's sad. Exactly. And it's really happening similarly to what the US is doing. It is happening in the UK too. They have their own ICE, which was heartbreaking for me as well. But the way that the racism is surfacing there too, it's just it kills me, but we have to navigate our own emotions that are triggered with all of these things happening. We have to advocate, we have to step up and say, no, this is not happening, which is happening everywhere. So at the same time, all the ugliness is happening, just like in Belfast last week, in Ireland, where these chaotic crowds were just going and burning families out of their homes because they were immigrants, because they were people of color. A collective reading, it's just I'm doing a tarot reading and it has to do with the collective experience. So like what's going on in the world right now, what's going on for us as a collective. And this also translates down into our individual experiences as well. So if you catch something in the reading that really applies to your personal experience, take that. If not, leave it. don't worry about trying to make anything fit here. But yeah, that's what we're doing, and it's a collective reading based on the group of souls who are also interacting with the video right now. So it's tailored to the collective that is on a frequency that matches the same as my message, as my broadcast. So that's what the collective reading means. They want us to riot like in Belfast so they can bring in military rule. Yeah, they're trying everything that they can do. They've got these public figures that are sending out these horrific racist messages and condoning those kinds of behaviors, just kind of feeding the fire. So yeah, but like what I was saying about in Belfast, you had these riots and they were burning, buildings and cars and harming people, because of their different beliefs, or just simply by their their you know their skin tone, because they're more generously melanated. The melanin deficient, toxic, masculine, patriarchal bootlickers do not like anything that's not the same as that, right? The same white, melanin deficient, patriarchal, toxic, masculine. If you don't believe that and you don't condone that, then they're going to be against that. So, but what we saw as a response to what happened in Belfast with those atrocities that were inflicted on those people is even more people coming out in hordes saying, no, not here. Absolutely not. Racism is not welcome here. Immigrants are welcome here. People of color are welcome here. And it wasn't just immigrants in Belfast either. It was, more deeply melanated individuals who were born in Ireland that were being targeted as well. So they're just continuing to play out the same playbook by us versus theming as much as possible, and giving more support and upliftment to the non-melanated, or the white individuals, the white supremacy. It's there ain't nothing supreme about being white. I've lived 40 years in a white person's skin, and yeah, I claim being white or Caucasian. I am also a mutt. I've got Irish and Scottish in there somewhere too, but I've also got different tribes of Indigenous American in me as well. My great grandfather was, I think he was half. He was half Cherokee. Has the white streak in his hair and everything. Like, he had jet black hair with a white streak in it towards the front. So like, but you look at me, anyone looks at me and they're going to say, oh, that's a white person. So, that's just how I've been identified my whole life. And I guess by default kind of identify that way, but I do have Indigenous heritage as well. And every single person has African heritage as well. So there's no denying it. Even if it's a tiny, tiny amount, everyone descends from an African person. So African woman, but we won't even get into all of that. That's a whole different scenario, whole different story. But we have this change. We have, things are brewing, things are coming together as things are falling apart. Yes, we're shedding the old skin. We're shedding all of that toxic masculine, that us versus them, that separatist behavior, that supremacy to whatever skin tone that you identify with. Okay. And we're moving into the golden age. We're moving into stability. But you cannot come about such drastic change without putting your foot down, without taking action, without, pouring that passion into what it is that you want. And like I've told you guys, and we have a lot of new people showing in that haven't seen us before, Rebel Spirit is my business name. Rebel Spirit Rising is my channel name, right? And it has nothing to do with fighting against. Okay. And this is why I'm rebellious in nature, because I rebel against the norms. This, my beliefs. If someone thinks that they can predict exactly how or what I'll do, say, believe, behave, whatever, most often times they're very wrong. We don't rebel against what it is that we don't want. We fight for what it is that we do want to enact real change, because whatever we're fighting against is going to persist. Okay, whatever we're resisting, it's going to persist. It's still feeding that energy of opposition. So we're still kind of getting our legs here as a collective. So we do have a lot of people fighting against right now and doing a lot of this, us versus them, in that capacity, is fighting against the atrocities, the negativity, and all of that. But we're slowly starting to shift towards, oh, this is doing nothing, it's falling on deaf ears, there's not going to be any kind of common ground or understanding, so I'm just going to go ahead and channel all of that passion into building what I want to see, what I want to experience, because obviously we're getting nowhere. It's like arguing with a fucking toddler. Okay. So this is where we're going to really start seeing a shift. Hello guys, thank you for coming in. Oswego. Yeah, I'm a white woman from Scotland with Irish ancestors. If you're not rich here, you're not important to the government anyway. We're all in the same boat. Exactly, exactly. Um, so we all experience different levels of it, right? A lot of people experience more of that blatant racism because of white colonists, right? Um, but also, the people that are not in these marginalized communities, um, a lot of them are also marginalized because they don't come from money, from a family history of wealth and prominence, right? That's why we've talked a lot on this channel. I know you're new here, but we've talked a lot about the ruling class, or the 13 family dynasties that are involved with controlling, with monopolizing this earth plane that we live in. So absolutely, it is a class war. It is not so much about the true division, is not so much about culture and skin tone and us versus them in that way. It's the haves and all of the have-nots, and how the haves want to make all of the have-nots their slaves. They want to control and monopolize them, so that they do the work. They create the things, and then these ones don't have to do shit but just enjoy it. So yes, thank you for bringing that up. I'm frozen, so I don't know if my voice is still going on, but I just had a glitch. Okay, I'm back. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on. Mercury, pre-shadow, reverse cowgirl right now. So Mercury's doing the weird shit with technology and stuff. Just expect, try to have a bit more patience, have a bit more grace. All of those things. So Six of Cups is showing up here right next to that Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This is how everything has not been working in our favor. This is, the past coming back around kind of to haunt us, really. Because, I mean, you see, worldwide right now, there is this huge push to remove women's rights that have only been established for a short period of time, only decades, not even decades for some things, especially when it comes to medical things. Okay. Um, so we have, with that Six of Cups, we have things coming back around for revision. We have these things resurging because it's part of their playbook. So they're not creative. They're not creator gods. So they have no creator energy. They can't create a new pathway or a new playbook because that's what they got. That's all they got. Okay. So it's like they're throwing the whole book right now, the whole playbook right now, because they have literally nothing else. They cannot come up with an original idea to save their lives. And that's just how it is. They're too far removed from the source of creation that they do not have that creative juice flowing. That's why they have to suppress and oppress people that are creatives, that are artists in their own avenues, right? Just take Hollywood for example. There are those who are not creative whatsoever, who are the ones that kind of control all of that. But under them, they have these producers, they have writers, they have the actors, and all of these things because they're the ones with the talent, and that's what props up the whole production company to begin with. Um, and meanwhile, they're doing atrocious things to all of those people, suppressing them in whatever ways, you know abusing them in many ways. So they leech that creative energy from the actual creators themselves, and they're the one that fully benefits from it, right? They're the ones that are the highest paid out of all of these other people combined, just to create movies, TV, entertainment, those kinds of things. So they are not creator gods because they are too far removed from the source of creation. And that's why they can no longer exist on this planet for very much longer. That's why us as the human beings, the creator gods that we are starting to really see this, and we're going to step more into that role moving forward. So eventually the ruling class shit is all going to dissolve, but before we get there, we have to have the collapse. So after the collapse comes the stability. We create the stability because we are the creators. Okay, we're the ones that have the ideas, that create, that think outside of the box, that actually make things happen. The movers and shakers. So, yes, it's a dark time right now, but you are guided. You have that enlightenment. You have the sword of truth. You have, all of these things to protect yourself as you navigate this darkness, the death, the destruction. Death and destruction is only ending of one cycle and the beginning of new. It's nothing to be feared. It's not to fearmonger by saying that. We are navigating death right now. We're navigating that destruction, but we are fully protected. We are fully sovereign. We stand in that authority, and that's what makes shit happen. Okay, we are protected. We are guided from a higher intelligence. Okay, so we can do no wrong here as we come together to shift this earth plane to be more habitable, more hospitable for the all, the collective. And I don't just mean human beings, I mean for Gaia, for the flora and fauna, for all who are meant to exist in this plane. Six of Swords, this is moving away from those turbulent waters and on towards calmer shores. This is, regaining that peace again. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there is the guide that is the one who is rowing the boat, and it's the mother and the child that are, huddled together in a blanket, that are being ushered towards their freedom, towards their new life. They're being guided, they're being protected, and they're being, taken to these calmer waters. So all living things, yes. Hello from Sweden. Hello, thank you. I'm totally going to butcher your name and I don't want to do that. But thank you for being here. Yes, I can't wait to. It's been a long time coming. It's been millennia in the making, okay? But this is why we're here at this pivotal time in Gaia's history, is because we are here to be the change. We are here to be the support, be the love, hold the light, but also don't take no shit, okay? We're not love and light over here. I know we've got a lot of new people coming over in on YouTube. This is not a love and light channel. If you couldn't tell for as long as you've been watching, this is not all love and light. We deal with the shadows. We take it head on. We dive straight into the depths. We go where we need to go to bring healing, to bring resolution, and bring things to the light. So we're not love and light. Just, imagine it better and it's better. No, because we live in a realm where it takes actual, action. It takes actual effort to make things happen here. And that's part of the Earth School together. But yeah, no, this is not just a love and light channel. You're not going to get anything like that here. Yes, you're going to get love. Yes, you're going to get light, but that is not, we don't spiritually bypass We don't make ourselves doormats. We don't do any of that. We advocate. We stand on business. We do what's needed for the benefit of the all, not just the select few or even just the one. Okay. So this, I use this channel to inspire others to stand up where they can, to advocate where they can, to not take anyone else's shit and not be pushed down and suppressed and bottled up. You can't fight the light without going through the depths of hell. Exactly, Maria. Exactly. And I've, like, my audience knows, they've been with me for like 3.5 years now. I've changed channels a few times and stuff. Steph, there you are. But they've been with me, and they know I've been through hell and back more times than I could count since the day I was born. I was left like on a bed at home while my parents and my aunt and uncle went out of town, and they got an hour away, like to their destination, before they realized that the baby was not with them. Nobody thought to get the baby. So I was left and forgotten and neglected and abused all my growing up, sexually and, and every other, physically, all kinds of, mentally, emotionally, all of it. Okay. Then went on into early adulthood and just had a really rough time with a man that also abused me in many ways, not physically, and then also abused my daughter. So, like, yes, girl, I've been through hell and back, and so I'm never, ever, ever going to be one of those people that preaches, oh, love and light, because that's not the reality that we live in. That's spiritual bypassing, and we've talked about that a lot too. So if all of this resonates with you, I hope you stick around, Maria. It's a pleasure having you. And Steph, I was just talking smack on Canada for being inhospitable and ugly towards the other cultures, other countries that are visiting there for the World Cup. So I know it's not your fault, but I threw a little diss at your country. So it's all good. Anyway, love you, Steph. Glad you're here. So as we're navigating this difficulty, we need to remember to bring every ounce of joy that we possibly can to Canada. Take a page out of the U.S. and Mexico's book, in your hospitality and love and support. Okay. But yes, because of things like this, we're seeing, yes, that peace, that world peace is achievable, that it's not the people that are the ones that are, setting the, yeah, I know it wasn't you, that are placing these borders and enforcing the, us versus them stuff, and the oh, you're a different color than me, so you're less than me, or any, all of the things. Okay, we're moving away from that as a society. But Five of Pentacles, we're all in lack right now. Like, look at the global stage at this time. Fuel, soil, produce, goods, like food, things like that are not making it to, like, Cuba, Puerto Rico. They are completely in the dark. They don't have power. They don't have fuel. It's really difficult for them to survive right now. There are so many people, and not just them. It's all of us are impacted by the skyrocketing prices, by the shrinkflation, by the availability of normal goods that we're used to having, are being strained, right? So we're all experiencing that lack. Same here. I had it rough too. I had a big awakening in 2022, which started my healing journey. I have subbed. That's awesome, Maria. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's rough, but girl, there are so many volunteers here, starseeds, light workers, shadow workers, whatever labels you want to throw on them. I like to call them volunteers, because we did volunteer to come here from other planes of existence, other planets. Some of us are our extraterrestrial body is on a ship in a pod somewhere, beamed down, our consciousness is beamed down here for this time, right? There are so many different situations, and you can take it or leave it. Whoever's watching, if you don't believe that one, you think I'm full of shit, then fine, I'm full of shit, it's fine. So you don't have to believe everything that I say, okay? But this is the truth that we know. So the volunteers are here at this time to help usher humanity into this golden era that we're moving into. And we have to experience a lot of times the worst of it so that we can heal ourselves. And then we have that experience and we can help pass that on to others to help heal others as well. So, yes, you may have had a very difficult journey. So many of us have. And so many of us are here to be cycle breakers and, healers for our own family lineage, whether that's our genetic family lineage or there's even people that are adopted from, taken from their genetic parents and placed with an adoptive family. And those people oftentimes have more of a job of healing both their genetic lineage as well as the lineage of their adopted families. So we've got a lot of burden to carry here, but it's all about taking on this difficult task so that we can help usher in a new age for this planet, for this plane of existence. We came here because we heard the call, because we heard the souls that are suffering, that are being oppressed, that are being just, enslaved and taken advantage of. And we're like, not on my watch. I'm going to go and I'm going to serve the purpose that I know how to serve because I've had lifetimes of practice. And I'm going to help my brothers and sisters to overcome this difficult period of time, and usher in a new age and bring in the experience that this plane was supposed to be to begin with, right? Because there was the frequency distortion and the false matrix and everything put in place. We come here with our high frequencies so that we can sew that into this plane, so we can bring this plane back into her high frequency that she was always meant to exist in. Big soul soup of volunteers. Yes. Yes, Susan, I love you. We all love you. Susan says, I love you all, brothers and sisters. You are the best. Okay. So moving on to calmer waters, we're moving out of that lack. It's time to let that shit go and dance your fucking ass off. Like I've talked about so many times before, you guys know one of the best ways, in my opinion, to transmute energy is to shake that ass, okay? And if you guys know me, you know that I'll even talk about shaking my ass in the bread aisle. I did it yesterday in the dairy section, okay? The kids and I went to the store and I was just popping, locking right there. I was shaking, twerking right next to the yogurt. Okay. So sometimes you just have to break up that dull, heavy energy, right? And you have to bring some joy in. You have to bring some laughter in. I'll be having a whole ass concert in my car going down the road and singing and dancing. And, people are driving past me, like going the opposite direction. And I know they see me and I know they got a kick out of it, whether they were making fun of me or if they were like, yes, I love that. I don't care. At least it broke up the mundane parts of your day, right? So bring that in. Music is very healing, and a lot of us know that because we've just always identified with that. Music is soothing. It can also, it can very much impact your mood. You can start raging whenever you're listening to certain music. It's very impactful. So um, sing, dance, do whatever you can, break up that stagnant energy because it's going to help so much. I love to sing out loud when I'm driving. Yes, girl. Yes. I need to take a sip because my voice is getting out. It's getting kind of wicked. So we'll try to maintain. So let that shit go. Let that lack go. Shake your ass on it. Dance, sing, do whatever you can to shift your mood. Kay brings her milkshake to the dairy aisle. I bring my milkshake to the dairy aisle. Yes. And I don't care. I don't like when I was younger, I used to be so embarrassed for like anyone to see me doing anything that was kind of out of the norm. But now I don't give a fuck. Not one single solitary one. It's also part of stimming. Like, I'm autistic and ADHD, called ADHD. Okay. So I have a bit of both. I have to stim and I feel energy intensely. And, I have to break that up sometimes. And especially in the store, because they are energy harvesting centers with all of the music, with all of the lights, with all of the colors, with all of the everything in those places are set up to harvest your energy. So whenever I go into a store, I'm very impacted. I place my protections, I do all the things, but I also have to do stimming behaviors to get through the trip. And I also have to kind of, bring some joy and shake things up a bit. Otherwise, I'm just like, I don't like people. Not the common ones that you see, the NPC type ones you see in public, right? I've been listening to the Ring My Bell song when I want to lift my frequency. That's awesome. I love that, Anna. You're beautiful. I love that. So bring in those glimmers yourself, create it yourself, because you are a creator being. You don't have to wait for someone else to create something that brings you joy. You can do it yourself. Page of Cups, offer that up to the world, offer that up to your community, offer that up to whoever the hell will listen to you sing and watch you shake that ass. I don't care. Okay. Page of Cups. And on this card, when pigs fly, okay, the things that we thought were impossible, a couple years ago, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 years ago, the things that we thought were impossible, that we couldn't fathom then, the way that we are creating this new earth, this new realm that we're moving into, okay? It's like the saying, when pigs fly. Oh yeah, that'll happen when pigs fly. Pigs are flying right now, honey. So strap on your wings and get up there with them, because shit's happening, in a good way, but also in a bad way. So take it with a grain of salt, sugar dip that bitch and suck it right on down, whatever you need to do. Okay. But we are in a point of detox, both in our individual experiences as well as the collective one. Like, if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of things that are leaving our experience right now. Friendships are changing. The way that we connect with others are shifting and changing. There are people going no contact with their family, me being one of them, and I'm the first one to say it. And that's where I regained my peace, right? So we are at this level of detox where you see so much going out, so much surfacing and then being removed, surfacing and being dealt with, surfacing and being shifted. We're in this detox period. And if you think about it from the perspective of like detoxing from drugs or alcohol, or even like shifting the way that you eat, if you were eating more like chemically processed things and you're moving more towards a clean eating way of existence, your body is going to have symptoms of like illness, right? Especially if it's drug or alcohol detox, you're going to get the shakes, you're going to get sick, physically ill, you're going to be weak, you're going to, it takes people days to detox off of things like that. Whenever you're shifting your diet and moving towards a more clean eating way of existing, it can be months, it can even be years for some. So it's not pleasant. Okay. We know it's good to detox. We know that these things are positive, and that's what we need to do whenever we're, filling ourselves with toxicity, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, what have you. It's going to be a painful process. It's going to be a messy process. It's going to suck really, really hard. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I've gone through many detox processes in my life, even though I've never been a drug or an alcohol addict. I've detoxed from people, from, emotions that I kept bottled up, from foods, even not so much, because I've always kind of watched what I put in my body, just because that's me. But we have to cleanse all of these things. We have to purge all of these things out before we can really establish that new healthy routine. Okay. So think of it as, Gaia's collective are detoxing from something like the big H, not hero, but heroin. You know what I mean? Okay. Um, I don't want to say something and then like get my stuff taken down. Ellie and I elevator dance to keep her from feeling motion sick. That's cute. I love that. I love that so much, Susan. So it's a period of detox. We got to get to the root of it. We can't just keep, masking the symptoms anymore, which is, we know what big pharma does. Okay. We can't just keep masking the symptoms anymore. We're getting to the root of it, and our roots are beautiful. We have this beautiful root system established. We have these mycelial networks that we need to just become aware of and start working with them instead of working against them. Okay. And that has to do with everything, with your physical body. Okay. But also with what's gone on in this earth plane as far as politics, females being suppressed, all of the ugliness that's happened here. We have to detox from that. We have to get to the root of it, which is the patriarchy, right? It's the toxic masculine. So of course these things are going to surface. We're going to see surges in ugly behavior, in like warmongering, fear mongering, like anti everything, us versus them shit. It's just a byproduct of what's happening right now. It's a byproduct of the detox. It's the toxins hitting the light, right? Releasing and becoming known and observed. So it's going to get better, you guys, but not right now. Fruit of knowledge. That's perfect. Right behind that root card is the fruit of knowledge. There we see the serpent again. We see the snake. This is evolution. This is growth. This is releasing the old, shedding the old that no longer serves us, and growing. And in the context of the Bible, the book of stories, right? It was said that the serpent was the one that was, that told Eve to have the apple, and then she, made Adam do it after she did, or whatever. But the serpent was the only one that didn't lie. If you take notice, God was the one that said, that tree and that tree will kill you. That's the tree of knowledge, and that's the tree of everlasting life. Those two trees will kill you if you eat the fruit of them. So you can have anything else except for from those two trees, because those will unalive you. And then the serpent was like, hell no, bitch. Eat from this tree. This will give you knowledge. This will, open your eyes. And that snake didn't lie in that story. It's a story. It's all, fabricated, and it's metaphoric. Okay. But still, so the serpent is not a sign of evil. The serpent is a sign of not, we have the serpent in the medical whatchamahoozy. Sorry guys, my brain labels when I'm channeling, whenever I'm doing my readings, my brain just like shuts off on the left side. So you get what I'm putting down. It is a sign of health, a sign of well-being, a sign of change. Okay, so fruit of knowledge, people are awakening to new truths that they never knew. For some of us, it's been years, decades, or whatever, lifetimes, okay, that we've known these things, and we've been wanting people to open their eyes, and we've been screaming into the void, it seems, because nobody will listen. But now people are starting to catch on, starting to see, oh, that's not conspiracy, that's truth. So with this newfound knowledge, then we get this huge evolutionary leap, right? Evolution in consciousness. And when that happens, everything else is evolving. Caduceus, thank you. Thank you, Steph. You know my brain. I'm glad some of us have ours still handy during my readings. Rod of Asclepius. Yeah, that too. No, I was thinking of something else. Never mind. Okay. Anywho, light is enlightenment, is knowledge, is truth, right? So we have the light coming in, and we can see this in real time with what's going on with our sun. You guys, our source of life, our sun, is changing. It's emitting new frequencies pointed directly at us. Like the light codes are coming in. That's going to cause mass realizations, mass enlightenment, okay? Because the ones of us here that have known it all along and been doing the work this whole time have been the ones that are open to channeling and anchoring this light into this plane. But now that it's starting to spread, the enlightenment is starting to spread, the ruling class would call it like a virus, but I mean, I'll take it. a viral consciousness evolution Abso-fucking-lutely. So, you know, this is the physical, tangible way that we can see. This is the proof in the pudding, so to speak, that yes, we are becoming enlightened. We're receiving more light because our sun's doing crazy shit. Things are changing all around us. Our, you know, Gaia is responding with volcanic activity, with tectonic activity. Her winds are shifting, her waters are shifting. They're, all of the elements are shifting. Okay, so this is the proof in the pudding. Okay, we have soulmate. This is the card I told you guys we would get to in a minute. Life partner or soul contract. I'm not getting this in like a, oh, your soulmate's gonna show up on your doorstep next week, baby, get ready and throw your lipstick on. That's not what I'm talking about. If you resonate with that, if you're wanting a partner and you're open to that, and you're like in the whole dating or openness to getting a partner, however you want to put it, then this could be an indication that yes, you have a soulmate that's stepping in, or maybe depending on your timeline has already just recently, or whatever. Okay, take it how it resonates for you. I also lose words when speaking. Most of us do. Oh, good. I'm not the only one. Feeling the sun today at 91 degrees. Ooh. No, thank you. You can keep that shit in Florida. I know you love the sun. You're a little lizard and I love you. But yes, sun codes definitely coming in strong. But with that soulmate card, it's soul contract is what really got my attention for this reading. We all have soul contracts for every individual soul that is here to experience this life. Okay, we all have our own contracts, and we also have greater contracts, like what are you contributing to the collective, what is your function at this time. We are also contracted to other souls, whether that's romantically, friendship, family, community, whatever. So you're going to see more of these contracts kind of taking effect. Like you're going to be meeting these people that you just feel like you've known them for lifetimes, because you have, and you've come here to collaborate on one thing or another with one another. So this is what helps to start bridging the gaps and bringing the collective together, because like we've talked about before, the mycelial networks. Okay, so with like every in the spiritual community, you have all kinds, right? You have those who are identify with one religion or another that are in the spiritual community. You have those who are agnostic, or you know, have their own ways of believing. You have words. You have like paganistic beliefs. You have Wiccan. You have um, non-denominational of anything there is in existence, religion or belief wise, right? You have people that are identify more as light workers in the Love and Light group, and you have those who identify with shadow work and really, you know, get into those kinds of things. It's very all encompassing with the spiritual communities. And then you have those who are seated to be deceptive in the spiritual communities, those who say only love and light and don't pay attention to any of the shadows or any of the darkness or any of that, just all love and light. Those are also, you know, meant to kind of hijack you, okay? Hijack your sovereignty. There, so we have all kinds, but also you have people at different levels of consciousness. Okay, so you have those who are it is their purpose to be more identifiable with the lower consciousness groups, but they kind of open up their consciousness and kind of get them in the door to becoming more spiritual, becoming more in touch with their source, with their higher self, and all of that, right? So we have on different levels of consciousness those groups. These are the ones that are kind of meant to get your toe dipped in. These are the ones that are meant to, you know, get you knowledgeable on extraterrestrial species. We have them that are getting you into ultra terrestrial and different timelines, and all of these different things. Thank you, Oswego. Um, so there are different levels, and everyone serves their own function. So like you have the much higher consciousness that can really see in a broader scope, that can really lay it out for people that really has a huge grasp of what's going on, a broader perspective, because lower consciousnesses will focus on still more us versus them and good versus bad and all of that stuff. So you have all kinds here. So we're going to start seeing more of a gap bridging here, where people are going to start kind of chain linking up to other people. I'm sorry, honey, we're not doing an individual reading today, but please, if you feel inspired to stick around, you may gather something that might actually answer your question in this reading, hon. Okay, let me see. Sorry, I missed some comments. I saw them just go really fast. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing. I figured the most sunniest during the day here is in the crack of grand rising. So I've been waking up between 4:30 and 6 a.m. before chemtrail starts around noon. My best solution to get my sun codes, grounding, and a tan in. I love it. I love that, Anna. So you're going to see more of a shift of coming together of, people uplifting their consciousness, even from the lower levels. They're going to start evolving more too. And I'm not saying lower or higher like hierarchy. It's just frequency based. Okay, so people that are more closed off to certain things, or that are more tunnel vision on certain things, and then you have people that are more of the broader perspective and more of the understanding, and can really kind of see all the pieces on the board, and know how to really work with that to get this overall highest possible outcome for the collective. So we have that, people, you'll see soul contracts starting to be called for activation. You're going to see more people like in spiritual communities and other communities, but spiritual community, for example, that are really bridging that gap and finding more common ground and more understanding with one another and evolving. So it's all of these things are happening simultaneously. Also, of course, shit's going to be confusing. Okay. It's going to be chaotic because we have everything existing all at once. Nest, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Stay hydrated, of course, number one, because we're made up of mostly water, and the waters hold memories. So be cleansing your energy, protecting yourself, setting good intentions for yourself, speaking good of yourself, both physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. But Nest, this is, create that safe space, your meditation space, or just create safe space for yourself, whether that's a physical location in your home or elsewhere, or that's just creating that within yourself. Okay, doing the work, doing the healing work on yourself, so that you can feel safe and protected no matter where you go. So it's time to really focus more on helping ourselves and others feel safe at this time, to really start and building the nest. This is the home. This is, for Gaia, this is Gaia. This is the whole plane. I have a fly that came in here somehow. I think it came under the door. So if you see me swatting, it's that stupid fly. But creating a safe space for all of us, creating a new home. That's what we're doing. We're creating a new home, a new Gaia, right? New Earth. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Okay. Seed, fertility, growth, manifestation, and protection. That's perfect, actually, right? We're planting these seeds of safety, of protection. We're banding together to support one another instead of banding together to us versus them, oppress certain peoples or suppress certain voices. We're no longer doing this. Now we're planting the seeds. Now we're tending the seeds. Now we're growing into this beautiful new world that we're supposed to be experiencing, that we've always supposed to have been in. Though it's had its positives for souls learning difficult lessons and so forth, that time is done, though. That's no longer. There still will be difficulties. It's not going to be all fucking, sunshine, rainbows, and butterfly farts, like I always say. There's still going to be contrast. There's still good, because we live in a dualistic universe. We're going to still have contrast, but it's not going to be anything like it has been for many thousands of years. Okay, so we are tending the seeds that we're planting. We're banding together. We're supporting one another. We're loving one another instead of attacking one another. And that might not be the case for everywhere, especially places like Congo, Ukraine, Gaza, um, so many other places, like, you know, but you see people from other parts of Gaia advocating for those very people that are experiencing those things and bringing awareness, bringing attention, bringing change, actually banding together to send aid, support, to, you know, to love these people and bring attention to it so that it can be changed. Okay, so it's people that have never met anyone from that area of the world, but they know that they're going through a G-side or whatever it is that they're experiencing. They're going to stand up and advocate and say, you know, no one's free until we're all free. So this is what we're talking about. This is the change, but it can go nowhere with indecision. So this is where we talk about the split, like Dolores Cannon famously talked about. Sudan, yes, Sudan. Thank you, Susan. Sudan is going through some atrocious shit right now too. Indecision is confusion, and decide what you want and act on it. Act on it. That's what we've been talking about. We can't imagine it into experience. We can't love and light it into experience. We have to act on it, right? So if you're not actively, you know, moving towards a certain outcome, then you're standing in indecision. And when you're standing in indecision, you're actually kind of by default making the decision to go with the former. So you have to decide what you want and act on it, whether that's getting a platform, like growing a platform and advocating on there, or in the comments section, or sharing posts, or going to your local demonstrations, or whatever. Okay. If you're not actively moving in the direction of betterment for society and betterment for all, then you're actually standing on the side of the oppressor. Um, and it really is that black and white. Okay. And this is where we're seeing the splitting of energies, where the low frequency, the lower consciousness individuals are remaining in that, or getting, you know, sucked deeper into that. And then others are tipping the scale and becoming enlightened, becoming aware, you know, advocating for change, moving their energy towards shifting and changing, supporting, and community. Right. So, there, you can't have both. You can't sit there and stagnate, but want to wish a new golden age into existence if you're not actively doing anything towards that, even if it's just small actions for yourself, even if it's, you know, helping open a door and tell someone, like give someone a compliment or something that's different from you, or even just another person. If you're not used to, you know, branching out and speaking to others or anything like that, you can start, you know, getting yourself more open to having these conversations in public with strangers, or, you know, whatever. Everyone's situation is different. But you can make small changes just like those that I've talked about, and others, but we're not going to get too deep into that, because my voice is trying to go out and I'm still trying to finish the reading here. Okay, so flow in the direction that you want to move in. Okay. If you're fighting against it, the current's going to take you under. You got to flow with it. This means, like, don't keep fighting against what it is that you don't agree with. It means supporting and advocating for the things that you do agree with. Okay. The us versus them is fucking tired and played out by now. Okay. And whenever you're resisting something, it's going to persist. Whenever you are opposing someone, when you're in an argument, and you're going back and forth, and this person is yelling their point and you're yelling your point, and nobody is open to understanding or even like stepping back a little bit just to entertain what the other is saying. You're just opposing each other and shouting back and forth at each other. No one's gaining any understanding or anything like that from one another. It's going nowhere. But it's not going to stop until you disengage, until you walk away from that shit, right? So disengage with opposing, with persist or resisting the thing that you don't want, the thing that you don't want to deal with. And yeah, stop feeding the energy and start feeding that energy into what it is that you want, creating the change that you want to see. Hey Mala, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. We love you. Sweet dreams. Um, Otherwise, it's a labyrinth. I mean, that's what we've been in for so long. is going around and hitting a dead end, and then turning around and trying to go about it in a different way, but then that's a dead end too. It's like we've been stuck in this labyrinth on this plane for so long. And even in your own experience, you could be experiencing like, you try for something that you want, or you try to create the life that you want, but then something always happens. Something, stops you in your tracks, and you have to go back to the drawing board, or you have to, reconfigure what you're doing and try it in a different way, taking a different approach. Flow. That flow card was right next to that labyrinth card. Flow. Okay. Stop opposing, stop resisting, and go with the flow. And I know that's easier said than done. Excuse me. But say you're trying to manifest a certain situation or a certain thing, and every time that you try for it, it fails. You're being redirected. It doesn't necessarily mean you're being directed to something completely different, though a lot of the times it does, okay? You could be being redirected to a different approach. It could be because you are in that lack energy and you're like going for the thing. You keep throwing your line out, and fishing, translation fishing, okay? You keep throwing your line out there, and you see a whole school of fish, and you keep throwing your line out there, and they're not paying attention to your shit because one of them then said, hey, that's got a hook on it. I recognize that. I've been hooked before. Stay away from it. It might look tasty, but it ain't tasty. It's just a rubber worm. Like, just ignore it. You know what I mean? So you keep throwing your line out there expecting to get something, and you're not getting something. Okay. Well, that one fish done alerted the whole group of fish that that's to not fuck with that. And that could be, one part of the energy not being just right. Your energy not being aligned with the having of that, whatever it is. So, but that's upstream. Okay, say it's upstream. You keep throwing upstream, and you have to keep recasting because your line keeps on, moving downstream, and you have to, because the school of fish is staying there. Honey, just turn and cast your line in the way that it's flowing, in the way that the water's flowing. Totally different school of fish. They didn't get the memo, okay? Because they're off doing their fishy thing over here. They're off doing their fishy thing upstream. And you keep trying to fight upstream because you see this school of fish, but you don't know what's downstream because you haven't turned to look, okay? So go with the flow. Cast your pole in a different direction. Flow with the go. I love it. So stop rowing upstream. Stop casting your line upstream. If it keeps flowing downstream, stop recasting it. Let it flow downstream. Let it hang out a little bit. Maybe they'll forget, maybe these fish up here will forget that, oh, there's a rubber worm in the water and has been for the last 2 hours. This person keeps casting it, and now they think you're gone because you threw your line downstream. So here they come moving down the stream just to kind of get their little fishy nibblies in everywhere else. And they're like, oh, a worm. And then you've hooked yourself a fish. Fishing analogy. I grew up fishing. Okay. So it seems relatable to me. You have to look at things from a higher perspective. Okay. From that higher perspective. And we just talked about that with the lower perspectives to the higher ones. 5D mastery and expanding your consciousness. If it's not working and you keep repeating it, doing the same thing over and over and over again, what is that, folks? It's the definition of insanity. You have to shift your approach, or you have to go back to the drawing board and reconfigure your steps and then apply those moving forward. And that's what we're doing collectively. But if there's something in your life that is stuck, that you're not sure about, that, things keep falling apart, or just things just haven't really been coming together. It doesn't necessarily mean they always have to be falling apart. It could be you just keep trying and trying, and you can't get that sweet spot just yet. So it's time to take a step back, rebalance, ground yourself, open yourself up to meditate, okay, to your higher self, or to the source of creation, or whatever it is you believe in. whatever it is whoever you identify with, whatever deities you work with, I don't care. Okay. Reconfigure, take a different approach. We have our door here, and this is living your passion. This is passion. This is fire. This is that fuel. This is, happiness, love, all of these things wrapped up into one. But most of all, passion. It's that fire. It's bridling, harnessing that fire within you and applying it in the direction that you want, that you want to go in, that you want to achieve something in. You have to move towards that direction. It takes action towards the direction, the trajectory of where you want to go. And it could be multiple actions, or it could be just one action and you're there. Depends on what you're working on, depends on your timeline, who, where your energy's at, and so forth. But embracing more of what lights you up, more of what really inspires you, what brings you joy and happiness. That's what we want to see. That's the direction we want to go in, because we don't want to keep repeating the things that we don't enjoy to try to get to an outcome that is desired for us, because doing a lot of things that you don't enjoy is not going to bring you any enjoyment, and you're just going to fucking give up eventually, right? So keep putting your heart, your soul, your action into the things that really excite you, that really ignite you. Okay. And that's how you move into this more 5D way of existence. That's how you move into that higher perspective, because when you are doing something that brings you passion, joy, and, fulfillment, you are existing in the ether, in the quantum. So you are the anchor to anchor that energy into the tangible physical realm to manifest these things. Okay. So, reverie, this is looking at things from a different approach. And I always talk about, translating life, your own life experiences, your day to day through dream logic. So applying dream logic to the things that happen in your everyday. um, it's imagination and intuition. Your spiritual gifts, they all come through that same channel, imagination. And it's not that you're imagining things that aren't there or that aren't true. It's that you're shifting your perception to being able to perceive these things that also exist, just not in the lower density. So approaching everything from this more dream logic is going to really help you to kind of really see where things are moving, because you're not going to always see it in the tangible. You're going to see a lot of ugliness. You're going to see a lot of this stuff that's going to probably kind of dampen your fire, and we don't want that. So apply that dream logic to your everyday, to the collective sphere. And you'll see that things are actually moving exactly as they're supposed to. They're moving on schedule. That the shift is already happening, and a lot of other people that aren't really tapped into that higher perspective, or that dream logic type perspective, where you're perceiving things in a different way, so that you can perceive things that you wouldn't normally perceive. You're going to start to really see the trend. You're going to start to see the pattern, which will then inspire more happiness, more passion, more joy. And we increase. We just turn it up a notch, turn it up a notch, turn it up a notch. Everyone does this, and that's how the shift happens. And that's how it starts to really happen quickly, where some people won't really notice anything until bam, it's already happening and done. But others are going to be like, I have been waiting for this for a long time. I've been seeing it trickling here and there, but now it's here. And now it's being offered up to us. We're coming back to that Page of Cups, okay, right next to that higher perspective card. It's expanding our awareness, expanding our consciousness, and bridging the gap. Us bridging the gap. We talked about bridging the gap in our communities, but we're bridging the gap between the dense reality that we live in, what we call the 3D, and the higher planes of existence, being able to perceive things from higher planes, higher frequencies. But not only that, starting to be able to have those higher frequency, higher vibrational experiences ourselves, instead of just being something that we can imagine somewhere. So, get into that. We have the sexuality card just to close out the reading. And this has to do with that sacral chakra, with your passion, with your creation. Okay. And we have the dolphins here. The dolphins are amazing creatures. They're high frequency beings that are, we know water is a magnifier. Our planet is made mostly of water, right? And we have these high frequency beings. We have the dolphins, the whales, the echolocators, right? But it's not just for echolocation. They're also raising the frequency of our seas, which then magnifies and translates to a frequency raise on land. They've been maintaining and sustaining until the past several years, when they've really been amping up the communication, sowing these frequencies in our waters. So tap into your own inner waters, tap into your own sensuality. Sexuality is not all about sex, it's not all about anything like that. It's about what you create, creation magic, okay? Sexuality is creation, because people have to have sex to procreate, right? To procreate. So that doesn't only have to do with, sex and sexuality or anything like that. When we talk about this, we're talking purely about that creative energy and that sacral chakra. If you feel like you have blockages in your chakras, I'm reiterating this again because we have a lot of new viewers joining us from YouTube. So if you feel like you have any kind of like blocks or heaviness in any of your chakras, or you don't know and you just want to check, you can reach out to any number of the people in our community. You have my website. Oh, there. I keep pointing the wrong direction. You have my website here. I can actually do that for you. You can do it yourself also. There are many free ways to do it. Or if you are on Facebook, you can find our group, Rebel Spirits Rising, on Facebook. And we have so many amazing practitioners on there that can assist you with that as well. But we need to be making sure that our energy centers are cleansed and charged, okay, especially for this time right now. We need to make sure that we're holding on to protecting our sovereignty, placing our protections, doing our spiritual cleansing and protections, right? And if you don't know how to do that, you can get a hold of me, and I can help you out with that. You can book time with me, and I can go through it in depth with you and teach you how to do it yourself, whatever it is that you prefer. But it's time to really tap into our creative energy, and again, shake that ass, baby. Okay, let that old shit go. Let all that stagnant, heavy shit go. Shake your ass and raise your voice, okay? Because you're doing it for Mama Gaia. You're doing it for the collective, for the highest good of all. And I don't care if you can sing, or if you think you sound like a dying cow when you sing, okay? I don't care. Do it anyway, okay? You don't think you can dance? I don't care. Do it anyway. If you can move your body, and not trying to be ableist here, if you can move your body, if you have the capability to do so, then do it. I don't care if you or others perceive it as good or bad. Just do it, okay? And dancing is a really great way to break up stagnant energy in all your chakras, but especially your lower chakras if you're, twerking, backing it up. So make sure that you're doing things to maintain your system, your chakra system, your physical body, your mental and emotional bodies. Make sure that you are keeping up on your own health right now. That is the most important, because you can't do your job. You can't pour from an empty cup. Okay. So if you need to take some time for you, take some time for you, but release all that stagnant energy and bring in the good shit. Okay. Because we're so over the bullshit now, it ain't even funny. But hope you guys got something from that. That is what I have for you guys today. And if you haven't already, please follow or subscribe wherever you are at. If you would like to keep abreast, I do these collective readings once a week. I am sometime soon. I'm going to go ahead and do another, not collective reading, another live where we do individual readings on the live, whether that's for tips or for free, like 2-card reading. It's up to you. So yeah, I'll be doing that again soon. I'm not gonna promise on when, because it's been hard. It's been heavy. It's kind of been sucking lately, and I just have not had the energy to do that. But hello, Deborah. How are you? Drain that lymphatic system. You're such a lovely reader. I've been away for a while. Thank you for sharing your energy and all of this. Thank you, Deborah. I love you. I appreciate you so much. I love you, Katie. Thank you. I love you, Suzanne. Thank you. This is the Soul Soup. We love you all. But yes, so if you want to keep abreast with what I'm doing, if you want to have a chance for just a mini reading on one of our lives, then make sure that you subscribe, follow, whatever. And that way you can be notified every time I'm going live. I love you, Susan. Thank you. All right, guys. Your girl has to tinkle now. We've been here for 2 hours. Oh my gosh. I didn't think it was going to be that long, but I never do. All right, guys. You take care of yourselves. I will see you next week. Same time, same place. And if you're watching the replay, I love you so much. Drop some comments. Let me know how it's resonating for you. And until next week, take care of yourselves. Make sure that you're grounding. Make sure you're eating the foods that your body is craving. All right. And just live your life as best you can. Take care, guys. I love you so much.